Hey everyone, my name is Danilo Petrovic.
I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Denis Kudla.
I'm Evgeny Donskoy.
I'm Henry Laaksonen.
I'm Peter Torebko, and you're listening to the Game to Love podcast.
Hey, welcome back, tennis fans. It's quarterfinal time, and this podcast we're going to be taking you through the men's quarterfinal preview because there are some amazing names in this draw, and there are some little special ones that have made it through, and some that we didn't really expect, JG. But that's the beauty of a Grand Slam.
Well, it's great to be doing a podcast again. So many watch-alongs, always talking about the matches. This is one to talk about a variety of different matches. We're going to be talking about all of the quarterfinals on the men's, and then we're going to be doing a video on the women's. And there's a lot of people asking, are we actually covering Rafael Nadal, considering it's the middle of the night here in the UK? But yes, we will be, and that is both of us as well. So we're both going to make it. It's going to be a long slog, but it's kind of the match we all want to see. Rafael Nadal against Shapovalov last time out in Rome was amazing. This one, there's a lot of people calling for a Rafa upsetting him to go out. I've seen so many people thinking Shapo could do it. We're going to talk about everything. The time he's going to be playing, of course, being a big talking point.
Yeah, I know John Silk alluded to this.
It up, didn't he?
He did indeed. I've been speaking to him off stream about this. He was the one who brought it to my attention more than anything. I thought it was a bit strange because he is the money draw, so to speak, and he is the one that everybody would want to come. They spend a whole day maybe at work, and they just think, God, I want to go to that evening session, the party session, when you have all of the atmosphere. What? Rafa's on in the daytime? That's a bit strange, isn't it? I thought the big guys always were put on at the end. They're the ones who put the bums on the seats. But it's played, was that 4 matches? Or is it, 4 matches now in the day and only 1 in the evening. And it's a bit strange. He's been scheduled there again. Do you not think?
Well, listen, let's get into that in a second. Before we start, shout out to everyone joining us in the live chat. Cheers. If you haven't already, give us a like on the video. Subscribe to anyone new. Sam there. I let her down last time with Rafa. It's not happening again. I've set my alarms. I'm going to be up for Rafa on the Nadal. I'm staying up through the night to cover it. So if this is one little bit of me making up to you, Sam, hopefully this goes a long way for you.
Well, yeah, I don't know whether to sleep or just to stay up. It's one of those horrible conundrums because obviously we've got tennis coming up before that one. We're going to be having some women's tennis that will be on before Rafa starts. So I might just watch that and then just sleep after Rafa's over, which I don't know. I'm probably going to end up jet lagged again tomorrow afternoon. That's
Sam's pleased, so I've done something right. Let's get up some graphics. So here are the quarterfinals. From the top, Monfis, Bellatini, and then Shapovalov, Nadal, and from the bottom we have Yannick Sinner, Tsitsipas, and Felix Medvedev. We're going to go through each match individually. So I feel like, Ben, there's probably only one place to start. Let's start with Rafael Nadal, the match we're covering later on. It is on the top. You can see them two there. Listen, it's going to be challenging, but I'm very pleased. I'm gonna go out there and be really confident in this podcast, and I'm going to be honest on how I feel. I'm very pleased it's Shapovalov and not Zverev. I've been joking to you off the stream when Zverev was playing Shapo, saying Shapo's going to beat him in straight sets. Really, it was a joke. I did not think it was possible. It happened. And I was saying, all the stars are aligning for Rafa. And that's how it feels to me. I know Shapo's playing well, and he is a bit of a worry, especially how close it was last time when they played on clay. But the difference is he's a much easier opposition than Zverev. He makes a lot of double faults. He makes a lot of unforced errors. I don't think he's necessarily still got that mental side of his game fully set. And I think Rafa can exploit it. He's playing very well, serving great, showing a lot of fighting spirit. And we haven't seen no signs of any Rafa injury. And of course, the big talking point, it's going to be played during the day of Australia. And in the hotter conditions, the warmer temperatures of Australia during the day session, Rafael Nadal can perform better. He gets a lot more height on the ball. It sort of zips off the surface a little faster. And I think that's all it's going to do is make it a lot tougher for Shapovalov. And if we're looking at Rafael Nadal, the last few times he played at the quarterfinal here, the times he lost at the Australian Open, he usually went out in the night session. So everything's just looking and pointing towards the fact that these conditions are going to suit him more. I know you're going to get into all the controversy around why is he allowed to play it, and we'll touch on that in a second. But if you're looking at it from what we have to witness, and it's going to be a day match between the two of them, Rafa beats him.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a strange one, this one, in the respect of talking about serving as well. This is the one thing that I'm going to be focused on mostly in this match, which seems strange. When you talk about Rafael Nadal, you don't normally talk about, his serve is the one thing which is going to potentially win him this match. I think it could be the thing which might be able to win him this match. We know Shapo, even though he beat Zverev, 11 double faults in that match against Zverev and more unforced errors than there were winners. Granted, Zverev hit much more unforced errors than he did winners. So that was why Shapo went through in that one. Credit to Shapo, though. You can only beat what's put in front of you on that day. And it is a big pressure match. He did play well. But Rafa's serving this tournament has been exceptional. There's only one way to really put it. I've not seen Rafa serve like this for donkey's years. And it's nice to see him shrug off that injury that saw him just double faulting over and over again last year when we thought, what's happened to him? It's painful to watch. How many double faults? I think he was doing like 7-8 double faults a match in and around that clay court swing when he was playing Rublev, I think it was, and lost to Rublev on clay. Wasn't the same person, was it? Looks like a completely different guy right now. And I think
he seems pretty pain-free. I know John was saying he was hobbling around in the back room, but we've not seen any signs of it on court at all, which fills me with a lot of confidence. We've got Matthew in saying Craig on the free podcast. I've not seen that, to be honest. Said the Rafa will look to target the Shapo backhand and wait for the error. I think it's a great tactic. You can do it against Tsitsipas as well. Berrettini, another one. These players, I feel, can be a bit prone to some weaknesses. With Tsitsipas' one, it's different because we know he has a real weapon there.
So
the difference is it's hit and miss. Shapo has a real weapon there, but it's hit and miss. I think them two are very similar with that. And it's not like the same consistency that you get from a Djokovic level backhand, a Zverev or a Medvedev. It's a different level altogether. And I think Rafa, in these conditions of the daytime session, sort of firing, looping forehands out to the backhand side, Shapo's in trouble, mate. He really is going to be. And there's so many people saying this is a close match. I saw John saying he can't call it. It's really close. I'm not sure if I buy into that too much. I know it's going to be tough for him. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. And that's why even in the intro, I'm sort of playing it down. But the more I think about it, I'll be shocked if he doesn't win in 3 sets. I think he needs... Generally, if you look at everything together, Ben, Rafa wins this one in 3.
For me, it's a dangerous game. Because if Shapo's on and you're going to keep firing it into a backhand, which is firing, then you're all it's going to do is just give him more and more confidence. Because Shapo, when he's playing with confidence, scary prospect. And if he starts hitting the backhand well early on, Rafa's going to be in trouble. Because Rafa's movement hasn't been the best. That's the one thing I'd say that hasn't been as good as obviously previous years and he's still coming back. Really, he's not fully. I wouldn't call him fully fit yet. I'd say he's playing at about 60%. I'd say. I wouldn't. I mean, would you say that's
Rafa?
Yeah, I don't think he's even near peaked yet. Nowhere close.
I think you're being harsh. I think he's playing very well in spells.
No, he's playing well. No, I'm not saying he's not playing well. He's playing great.
Listen, I'll tell you what.
He has another
doing.
level.
I know
to
exactly
go.
what you're doing. You're comparing Rafa on hard court to the Rafa on clay, and you've got to differentiate them two. They're two different players. Rafa on clay is the greatest ever to do it. On hard court, he's certainly nowhere near that in that debate. So that's why you've always got you've set too much of a higher benchmark for him.
He won the Grand Slam on hard court in 2019.
But you know what I'm saying, Ben, and that's why I think you're being a bit harsh on him. I think he is playing well. He's not at his best, granted.
I'm saying, if you let me get to my point, I think every round he is improving and he is becoming more match fit each and every round. This is what you see Djokovic do in some of his tournaments. Even though Djokovic didn't have a warm-up tournament, he's warming up throughout the tournament in the first week. Rafa's similar to Djokovic. They're both high level players. And Rafa, even though he had a warm-up tournament, I still think he needs longer to warm up because of coming back from injury as well. I think the movement is the key thing. If he can just improve the movement around the court, maybe even come to the net a little bit more, I think, in this match. Put the pressure on the backhand of Chapo, attack the net, and see if the errors come.
One thing we're not really considering here, and 12 Travel 21 hits the nail on the head like he usually does. It's hard to attack Chapo's backhand, as he's a lefty too. Rafa would need to go down the line against the righty. Rafa can hit his forehand cross-court to their backhand, which is the safer shot. So it's going to be a lot harder for him.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of elements in this that makes it really exciting. There's part of me, I don't know.
Well, I'm looking at the live chat, Ben. Before we go actually full-time predictions, because maybe we can do a prediction after each one and then talk about it from there. But if we just focus on this for now, a lot of people in the live chat, they're saying I'm getting very confident with it. And I can understand it. They're saying the meltdown's going to be huge if he is to lose. And I think it would be. Like, if I'm waking up and I'm staying up all night and Rafa loses, it will be a big meltdown. I will lose my shit, to be quite honest. But I just don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to be all right. I generally believe in him, and I think he's going to be fine. A lot of people going with the prediction of a few sets, maybe a 5-setter. Chapo in 5, I've seen some people saying. Let us know, guys.
I don't know. There's still part of me in my mind. Even though that was my initial thought as well. When I was coming into this, my initial thought was, God, this is going to be a close set. Look what happened against Zverev, and look what Rafa has been doing so far. Surely it's going to be close. There's still part of me that thinks this was probably just going to be straight sets either side. Either Chapo plays amazing and blitzes him, or Rafa plays amazing and blitzes him. I don't know if we're going to get any middle ground.
All right. Okay. So should we get into the predictions for this one?
I don't know. That's what I mean. I'm torn.
But I think I'll start off then, because I feel like I've already... I don't know. I feel like I've laid my grave on this one. And it is going to be Rafael Nadal straight sets. I'll be surprised if he's to drop one. I feel it is against what a lot of people are suggesting is going to happen. There's a lot of Chapo love coming in from John as well. Well, John's a big Rafa fan, but his opinion was that Chapo can really hurt him. If you look at the last time they played, it did look like that way. The difference was I thought Rafa wasn't in a necessarily great place when they played last time. No. He's in a lot better position with his injury. And that's why I believe a lot in him. And another thing, the big players, you've noticed this in a lot of things, especially tennis, the very best in all the sports. When the pressure's on and there's an opportunity to be taken, they always seem to take it. I don't want to go through all of the other sports, but this is one of them situations. Rafael Nadal here has an opportunity. The first Grand Slam he's played in without Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic. He's in here now with no Djokovic playing in it. He's got a nice draw on paper until Medvedev in the final. Yeah. I feel like they take these opportunities. They're not going to let them slip. This is what the very best do, time and time again. That's why they've been at the top. That's why they've won 20 Grand Slams. And that's why Rafa's going to win this in 3.
That's where I think you're making a very valid point as well here. And this is where
it's a different level.
I have to agree to that point, because when you are of that level and you get to a quarterfinal of a Grand Slam and you do play against someone like a Rafael Nadal, if it was somebody else down the other end of the court, I think Chapo may have less nerves. But up against somebody of the stature of somebody like a Rafa, like a Djokovic, like a Federer, players like that, they tend to fall apart a bit. And I'm not sure if he's at the level yet where his mental side of the game will get him over the line. Like in the last match, yes, he won it. Was Zverev good enough and playing at an equal level to him? No. Zverev was playing terribly and Chapo beat him. So I think I'm very torn. That is the main factor for me that I will make my decision here, is the fact that Chapo, I don't know if he's going to be able to handle the occasion. That is the main factor in this whole thing for me. I think, and no matter what I said earlier about, I think it'll go 3 either way. As you've gone 3, I think I'm going to go Rafa in 4.
Okay. All right.
Just
for a minute, my heart just sort of leaped in my chest. When you said, as soon as you went 3, I'm going to go 3 as well, but this time I'm going Chapo in 3.
No,
I feel like that's what you was teeing up for, and I was like,
I've just based upon everything I've said. I think Rafa is improving every round, and I think that he is so driven. This is the best opportunity for him to win a Grand Slam. No Djokovic, all of that. And even if he's limping backstage, trust me, when those players who are that mentally driven get on court, that injury is not there. If it's not the same injury which ruled him out the French Open. He will be running around until he literally collapses, and that's the sort of mental strength that guy has. So
you're going Rafa in 4, and you've not mentioned what John was talking about earlier. These conditions he's been given, playing another day session.
It helps. I think we touched on it at the start. It definitely helps, like because he's got the massive top spin.
But what do you put it down to? We know it helps. We understand that, but do you think it's unfair? Do you think he's being given handouts?
I'm wondering if there is some sort of agenda. I don't know if that's the case. Obviously, it's all hearsay and it's all a bit like we're speculating. But the tournament without Djokovic is not putting as many like headlines out there, and not as many bums on seats. The longer Rafa's in this tournament, the more the more people watching this tournament. So it's in their interest to keep Rafa in this tournament anyway. So he might not even be speaking to. I'm not saying Rafa's talking to them. I'm saying it's in their interest if Rafa stays in this tournament.
Yeah. I don't know if you're going to go to the Morgado tweet.
Sure.
So this, here we go. Australian Open tomorrow. Nadal playing the day session for the 4th time in 5 matches. You can see the schedule there. He's going to be followed. He's going to be following the Krejcikova Keys match, which is on first on Rod Laver Arena. Then in the morning, I say morning. It'll be evening there. Barty, Pegula, and Berrettini, Monfis. But listen, I think it's a tough one. I know John wants me to talk about it, and I can't really defend the situation too much. It does seem like he has been given some kind of treatment. But a lot of what I want to say, my defense in it, this is the only thing I planned as a defense, because I'm not sure. I don't know the ins and outs, is the fact that Barty is someone they're going to want to play having the evening. She's the Australian world number 1. So I can understand why they would have that as the match. But then why would they not put
swap
Berrettini?
That one.
You can't really defend it. Let us know in the live chat what you think. But I'm not complaining. I don't care, to be honest. I'm more than happy that they're doing it because I want Rafa to have the best chance. And this gives him the best chance.
The only thing that it's bad for is us because we got to do the match.
Yeah, but even still, listen, I don't mind. If it gives us gives Rafa a better shot and we have to suffer with our sleep, it's actually worth it. I'll take no sleep if Rafa can win.
Yeah, well, for sure. And I'm sure that's they'd be in the same position as well. They'd put him on at any time, probably by the looks of it, if it meant that he stayed in the tournament.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Gene for the super chat.
Gene.
Cheers, mate. He's saying, hopefully Chapo causes the upset in 4 sets, but Rafa will definitely be the favourite in the 5th. If it does go 5, I'm not so sure. Listen, if it goes 5, I don't know. It's a bit... I feel like Chapo would have been... He must be playing at a good level to force it to 5, and I wouldn't be that encouraged that Rafa gets it done. We saw it with Tsitsipas. Was it last year or 2 years ago? Was it last year when he was 2 sets up?
Yeah.
It's last year, and he lost in 5. So, yeah, if it goes 5, I'm not that convinced Rafa wins it, if I'm honest. So, hopefully it doesn't go there. We stick with my prediction, which was Rafa in 3. Ben's was Rafa in 4. Let's move over to the next match.
Anyway, I was going to say, I think you'll be surprised if it goes. I think Rafa's cruised through this whole draw. Shapo's been to 4 to 5 to 4, and then straight sets in the last one. He's played more time on court. I think Rafa, he's not in the same state that when he lost to Tsitsipas, and that's why I said he needs to win straight sets through the tournament if he can. But I think if he gets 1 5-setter, he still has a chance. But that'll detriment for the next round. I don't think he'll be able to cope so much in the semis if that was the case. So, next one. Do you want to go over to Gail Monfis versus Matteo Bellatini? This one's an interesting one, and there's a lot of people ruling out Monfils, and I'm a bit annoyed at it, to be honest. And a lot of people just say not even giving him a chance. This is the only guy who hasn't dropped a set in the whole entire tournament, and everybody's saying, "Oh, Berrettini in 3." What? Really? Disrespectful to this guy, the Monf, who has literally had one of the worst 2 years, perhaps, of his life on tour. Depressed, and you've seen all of the stuff that he's been posting, and he had all of the problems obviously with Svitolina. Then he suddenly got married, and everything suddenly turned around. Ever since he got married to Svitolina, his form changed. Now he looks like the same guy again, the Monfils of old. He's actually wiping people off the court. Straight sets for everyone. Correa, Bublik, Garin, Kekmanovic, who was on a tear. He was doing it for Djokovic. Gone. And now Berrettini, who, well, he's played more time on court. 4 sets against Nakashima, 4 sets against Kozlov, 5 sets against Alcaraz, and then only 3 against Carreño Busta.
I can see what you're doing, mate. For me, though, not that impressed. The reason being, listen, he tried to draw me in. I've been one of them people who have been saying Matteo Berrettini in 3 sets. I think he's going to be too strong. You look at Berrettini in the last 4 slams he's played. He withdrew from the first one for injury, and the other 3 he lost to Djokovic each time. One in the final. I think the rest were both quarterfinals. So it's another quarterfinal again. This is a time he does usually go out in a quarterfinal, Berrettini. The difference is here, he's got a nice draw. It's not against Novak Djokovic, it's Gael Monfils, who, let's be honest, has been given a complete lifeline that Djokovic got deported. Because if Djokovic wasn't deported, there's no way he's here. This man's going to be Novak Djokovic all day of the week. I thought Djokovic had a really nice quarter. It wasn't too challenging at all.
Yeah.
Looking at the section who Monfils has played, I know you've said some of the names. We've had Correa, clay quarter, Bublik not in good form, Garin a clay quarter, and Kecmanovic you'd never expect to have got that far. I know I did pick him to go to this level, but yeah, it's not been a real challenge. Before that, he lost to Montero in Adelaide. He definitely has turned the corner with his form and is playing a lot better, but I just don't think it's of the level of Berrettini. I've seen nothing to suggest, based off who he's played, that things can turn around. I think people are getting on the hype train massively, which I'm all for, because I do love Gael Monfils. He's a showman. He brings something special to the court. Everyone's just getting a little bit carried away. That's just my verdict on it. And that's why I'm going Berrettini in 3. And I think you are someone who is getting a bit carried away. We've got Jamie in. Cheers for the super chat, mate. You did do another one as well. I'll read that out in a minute.
Cheers,
saying, typical Gael. Great to see. Great so far. So he'll crash and burn. Well, that's a tough way of putting it. I don't think he'll be disappointed. It's a great result for him getting to the quarterfinals, considering the years he's had the last 2 years. So I'm pleased with him for that. And don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be upset if he's able to beat Berrettini. I just don't think it's going to happen.
I think everybody is sort of forgetting, though, that this is all dependent on Berrettini's serve. And if we remember rightly, we wind back to November. Berrettini pulled out of the ATP Tour finals due to abdominal issues, which would affect his serve. Is there still any signs of that? It hasn't shown it so far. The deeper you go in a Grand Slam tournament, the more stress on your body. Is he going to start wearing down? We don't know that either. This is all these mini factors. Berrettini's serve, if it's not firing, I don't think he would win this match. However, he was firing so well against Carreño Busta, he absolutely blew him off the court. And Carreño Busta, great player, didn't even stand a chance. The last time these two played in a Grand Slam went to 5 sets at the US Open in 2019. Only won in a tie break in the 5th set by Berrettini, 7-5. My prediction is Monfils is only going to get a set. It's going to be in 4.
Oh, you
Berrettini in
bottled
4.
it. Embarrassing. Bottled it.
That's what I
Completely
think it's
bottled
going
it.
to
He's
be.
been bigging up Monfils off stream. He's been talking about all of his form, saying how good he is and this and that. And then he gets to the prediction and completely bottles it.
Berrettini in 4. I think Monfils will be able to get a set, but ultimately, if the serve is firing, I don't know if there's anybody. It's only Djokovic that manages to knock him out. Like you said, it's hard to ignore it.
Yeah, it's true. I'm teetering between. Did I definitely say Berrettini in 3? Because I'm kind of on the edge. I'm actually going to change it to Berrettini in 4. I don't think I officially said that. I was talking about. I was one of them people who did suggest that. However, if I want to do my official prediction live on the podcast right now, it's going to match you.
Everyone's witnessed.
No, I'm not copying you. I do like Monfils for a set, just for the. I think what's going to happen is Berrettini could be 2 sets up, and Monfils takes the 3rd, because Berrettini's level could drop slightly, and the crowd are going to want Monfils to be winning, and they're going to be cheering him with everything they've got, and that could sort of give him enough to win a set.
Well, I hope it goes 5. I'm not going to lie. I really want to see.
We've got Desmond in going for Lamont in 5. That would be awesome. Gene saying, "Wow, the Monfils disrespect." He's actually got Monfils winning the whole damn thing, which is crazy.
Who?
Gene.
What, the whole tournament?
Yeah, he thinks he can do it.
Wow. If that happens, incredible scenes.
Yep.
That would be amazing. What a way to cap off an amazing career.
Yeah, we've got a few other members as well. Let's read out what they think. We've got Kaz saying, "I'm going to put my faith in Gail in 4 sets. Come on." And who else is there? I did see another one. We've got Kathy there. I think he's talking about Tsitsipas. So we'll save that for a minute.
All right. Calm down, Kathy. Right, we'll get there.
Almost there.
Right, let's move on to...
Wait, just before we do, let's move over to the Italian side of things. So you can go down and we'll talk about the Sinner match next.
Okay.
So let's have a look at Sinner Tsitsipas, seeing as Kathy's already there. And we've spoken about Berrettini. First time we've seen 2 Italians in the main draw, Ben, since... I don't know if you want to bring up the tweet.
Yeah, it is. There it is. 2 Italians.
Go down. So for the... Oh, sorry. Let's really go up because I can't bother to do the maths. I don't know if it says it in the top.
Does it say it?
It doesn't say the amount of years. We'll have to do the maths. But for the 5th time and 2nd in Open era, 2 Italian players reached the quarterfinal in slams. Yannick Sinner and Matteo Berrettini. And you can see the last time it happened, 1973. Always in Roland Garros.
49 years.
Paolo Bertolucci and Adriano Panetta.
Oh, yeah, 49. So
49
amazing.
years.
Yeah, amazing. Wow. Well done. I think I'm not that surprised, to be honest, because Yannick Sinner, his draw has been, thankfully for him, and I think he deserves a good draw finally in a Grand Slam. This kid has been handed the worst draws I've ever seen. He just gets Rafael Nadal 3rd round every time, or he get Djokovic in the 2nd round, or just gets terrible draws all the time. Now he's finally got a decent draw. João Sousa, Steve Johnson, Taro Daniel, and Alex de Minaur couldn't get better. He couldn't handpick those ones. Probably nicer, I don't think, on a route to a quarterfinal. I mean, we thought Monfils' one sounded pretty good. These ones are actually more hardcore players as well. Yeah. And he's done well to beat all of them. Taro Daniel was playing great, by the way. So dropping a set, no disrespect to him. JG's qualifier to watch, played fantastic. So well done for pointing that out. Watch out for Taro Daniel in 2022. He'll be going deep in a few 250s, I reckon.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's great for Italian tennis. Not too surprised. We've been speaking about how many great Italians there are. You've sort of got Massetti to put in the mix as well. I know he's not playing great, but I've had to throw that one in for Thomas Rock, another good Italian tennis player. And there's loads more coming through the challengers as we speak. So, Italian tennis in a great place right now. If you go back to the initial graphic, Ben.
Sure. Just was going to push back the next pod. That's all. Just apologies.
No worries.
I'm just going to push it back half hour if that's all right.
Yeah, we'll push it back because I know we're going to be talking for a while still. We're only
No worries. There you go. That's done.
3 of the way through.
So yeah, I'll go back to the graphic. Here we go.
So yeah, looking at this, let's talk about the matchup. We've got Tennis Brothers in the chat. How we doing? Saying Sinner could make the final. Well, interesting.
He really could.
And we've got Kathy, one of our members, saying, I'm all for Sinner.
All in. Yeah.
All in on Sinner.
Well, I don't blame you either, because there's part of me, I said it in the end of year predictions. I think Sinner's going to have a big year in 2022. He's done well. He's finished messing around now. He had a good year last year. He won 4 tournaments last year. Just needs the slams now. Now he's focused. Now he's getting a good draw. Now he's not even going to be that tired coming into this match. Surely now, and he's playing against City. If you could pick any of the people from the top 4, that would probably be the one I'd hand pick for him to have a good match against.
Agreed.
He just went to 5 with Taylor Fritz. Might be a little bit fatigued. He played all right. He served fantastically, Tsitsipas today. But there's still shanks in there, and he was beatable today. And I think Fritz will be annoyed at himself that he messed up on vital points in the match.
He played the big shots, the big points, should I say, a lot better than Taylor Fritz, and that's why he was able to win. I thought Fritz was really good, and maybe the better player fractionally, but it was close. Epic match. Enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
Just looking at Sinner in Grand Slams, I know you touched on it. He's got a 58% win record, played 19 matches in slams, won 11, lost 8. In the Australian Open, he's played 3, won 1, lost 2, obviously before 2022. That's obviously changed and improved. The best he's ever reached in the slam was that quarterfinal, Ben, in 2020. Yeah. I think that's where he lost to, was it Rafa in the quarterfinals?
Yeah, I believe so.
But he seems to always have tough draws. He definitely does. In 2022, I'm hoping he can improve his 2021 in slams, where he got first round, fourth round, fourth round. And he's definitely on his way to, because he started the Australian Open with a quarterfinal.
Yeah.
Against Tsitsipas. I favour him. I really do. I like him a lot in this matchup. I think he's going to be slightly fresher of the two. And I'm predicting him to beat Tsitsipas and knock him out. I'm going for Jannik Sinner in 4.
I completely agree. I think he's there. From what I've seen of Sinner, I haven't watched all of his matches. I've watched the Taro Daniel one, and I watched the Alex de Minaur one. And the way he is striking the ball right now, Jannik Sinner, fills me with confidence. Especially the backhand, that was the one which I was probably more concerned than the forehand. We know what the forehand is like. We know what it does. It's a solid shot, especially on hard court. The backhand, though, much improved, flatter, and it's skipping off the surface. I've seen so many winners off that backhand side from Jannik Sinner that I think he's now just a threat from both angles. I'm going to go Jannik Sinner, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as what you think it's going to be in 4. I think it's going to be potentially Jannik Sinner in 5, because Stefanos Tsitsipas' serving is that good. He can easily get it to a tiebreak, I think, in at least a couple of sets.
Yeah, we've got some people talking about Stefanos' dad. Is it getting a bit annoying? Just non-stop talking about the coaching?
It needs to stop. I don't know why.
I don't ever see it happening, but it clearly must happen, because it's always being pointed out. And I think John made it a good turn of phrase. What did he say? There's no smoke without fire.
Well, exactly. And you see what's going. Well, we've seen it happen, and it's not a lie that it has happened in the past. So once it happens enough times, you will be targeted. Yeah, you're being targeted. It's like the same. It's like if you go to football, a player that keeps diving over on the pitch.
Or it's like Xhaka with his yellow cards.
Well, this is it. Like, you keep on doing the same thing over and over again. People are going to start thinking, well, do I believe you if you're going to argue against that? Or do I believe the other people who are trying to say, look, he's doing it again. Look, his dad's talking to him again. Stop it. This is coaching, on-court coaching. Which you could probably get away with saying that to the umpire, and then they're probably giving him a warning now. This is the thing. That's what the level it's got to now, unfortunately, with Tsitsipas. Is I don't think anyone would believe him if he said it wasn't happening.
Yeah, it just needs to stop. I think it's annoying, because it's always taking the focus off the match and what we want to talk about. Gene's in with another super chat. Cheers, mate.
Cheers,
Saying
buddy.
Sinner is such a humble kid. Bless him. Yeah, great personality. Really down to earth. Seems to be pretty confident and has a good mental approach to his games. I love him on the run as well. Sinner on the run doesn't get much
The
better.
Italians on the run.
Him sort of reaching for a nice forehand into the corner, hits him down the line with ease, and yeah, I think he's beaten Tsitsipas.
Yeah, I think we're both going for the same. I've got Sinner as number 5, finishing the year in that position for me. I think that it's definitely possible, and he's going to start the year strong.
Yep. So moving over just right. And here we have one of the other Canadians, this time Felix against Daniel Medvedev. Where I want to start here, Ben, is what a year it's been for Canadian tennis.
Oh, amazing. And I bet all of our friends at our other tennis channels from Canada, the Slice, Match Point Canada, I bet they're lapping it up right now, rubbing it in our faces here in the UK. We're just waiting. When's the next men's like GB guy going to come through? We thought Norrie was doing all right, but we don't think he was really like challenging properly at slams and stuff. These guys.
He's not as young as Felix either. Felix has a very, very bright future ahead of him.
Oh, for sure.
Do you want to bring up the tweet, mate, for this Canadian tennis?
Yeah, let me just find that 1 second. It is this one. There we go.
So this one, just zoom in a tad, saying decent start of the year for Canadian men's tennis. ATP Cup title, and now Shapovalov, Felix into the Australian Open quarterfinals. And you know what? We've not had no mention of Leylah Fernandez. Who would have thought that to start the year?
Wow.
She's not been stealing the headlines for Canada.
She might do later in
for Andreescu. She's gone quiet, but it's the men taking over now in Canada.
Well, it's incredible. I think about time as well. They're the one with all the promise in Canada. Yeah, if you were to speak to obviously all of these people like we do, they know how good they are. We know that Felix wouldn't have got to all of those finals if he wasn't that good. It's just he has a little trouble getting things over the line. We saw he obviously had a fantastic result at Wimbledon, obviously beating Zverev. Shapo's now beaten Zverev in a slam as well. Seems that they're sort of creeping up. The mental side of things for the Canadian players that everyone's criticizing them for, maybe they're sort of just getting that monkey off their back at the moment. And could 2022 be the year of the Canadians?
Well, maybe the Italians as well. Both nations doing great. Gene's in with a super chat again. He's into some money,
Cheers.
Gene, at the moment.
He must have won a big bet.
He's saying, can Felix trouble Medvedev this time round? Medvedev didn't look at all convincing versus Cressy.
Yeah, but come on. Look who you're playing. Is Felix going to come rushing to the net every single point, serve volleying? If he does, maybe you'll trouble him as well. Medvedev's a different animal. And Felix is a completely different player to Cressy. You can't even compare the two. There's no similarities in the slightest between those two players. And I'd say that about Cressy and everybody left in the draw, to be honest. Yeah. His serve volleying is just relentless. And Medvedev called it boring because he was rattled because Cressy took a set off of him due to just doing the same thing over and over. It's like when you've got a computer game and you've got like a fighting game, and you just keep on doing pressing the same button over and over again. And then the person's like, I can't do anything to stop you kicking me in the leg or something like that. And then, well, this is cheating. It's not. Guess what? You need to work out a way to stop that person doing that thing. And Medvedev did work out how to stop Cressy because he actually managed to break him on a few occasions. And that was enough. Medvedev didn't get broken the whole entire match on his serve. So that should be noted.
Yeah, I'm all here for it, mate. I think it's exciting.
I like
Cressy,
it.
though, listen to this. So Cressy approaching the net at the Australian Open. Round 1, 128 times in 5 sets.
God.
Round 2, 100 times in 4 sets. Round 3, 71 times in 4 sets. So round 3, he dropped it down a little bit. And then round 4, he pumped it up to another level. Maxime Cressy with an outstanding 135 times in 4 sets. So he come to the net more than ever in that 4th set. And I think it probably was the fact that Medvedev was getting a bit frustrated by calling it boring. He thought, you know what, I'm going to keep doing it. And I think he's hit the most winners as well this Australian Open. Nobody's hit more winners than Cressy.
I think it's hilarious. I don't know why. There's just something about it that I know that if I was on the other end of the court, it would just bug the hell out of me. But like, because you'd start to it'd rile you. It would just start getting under your skin. Like, what is he doing? He's coming in again. Like, oh my god, please stop. And then 75 winners. Medvedev hit 60 winners in that match. That's the difference. Like, he hit more winners than Medvedev in the match, but Medvedev only 11 unforced
I think
errors.
it was smart from Krusty. He had to keep doing it. That's the way you play. There's no point changing it. And not just that, there's no point going into a baseline rally with Medvedev. As Jeremy says,
Stupid.
nobody beats him in them kind of rallies. And I agree with that. So, yeah, we've talked about that enough. Let's talk about the actual upcoming match. If you're going to go back to the graphic.
Sure. Yeah. Here he is.
Which is Felix Medvedev. Can Felix beat Medvedev? Over to you first, Ben.
Well, I'd say no. That's unfortunately like what my feelings on Daniel Medvedev. There's no Djokovic there this year. He lost in the final to Djokovic last year. This, if anything, this is his. I'm sure Rafa and him are probably looking at this tournament right now and thinking, this is my opportunity to grab this Australian Open. The 9-time champion is not there. He just beat Djokovic in the last Grand Slam final in the US Open. He's definitely the best hard-court Grand Slam player out there when Djokovic is not around. Even maybe when Djokovic is around now. Who knows? For me, he gets it done. He might draw. I think I'm going to go Medvedev in 4. I think Felix might get a set, and that's a big might because I think Medvedev, he's so strong.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I agree with a lot what you said. I'm not going to go over the top with it. I think Medvedev wins in 3 sets, so a little bit different to you.
I'm trying to give him a little bit of ray of hope there, Felix, but my mind's telling me 3-love. But I don't know. I would like to see Felix really take it to Medvedev a bit in a way because I'm don't know. I'm proud that he's got this far, and I want to see him do well. He's still so young. You got to remember that, Felix. What is he now? Look, I'm sorry, I'm just going to bring that up. 21 years old, and everybody is talking about, like Yannick Sinner. This is amazing for him. Well, it's amazing for Felix as well. You got to remember that he's still a very, very young guy. So the whole world ahead of him. 10, 15 years left.
He's done a mad run as well in slams. So let's go back to Wimbledon last year. He got to the quarter-final. He then rolled on to the US Open. He got to the semi-final.
Exactly.
Moving one over, straight over. Does that mean he's going to get to the final this time?
Oy, I like it. I like where you're going.
Final next, and then by Roland Garros, it seems like he's going to win the whole thing.
If he was on the
Roland
other
Garros, the one where he's not very good at, he's never won a match at Roland Garros. Felix.
Wow, he's the Medvedev. He needs to break that duck. I think if he was on the other side of the draw, he'd have a better chance. I just don't like the fact he's playing Medvedev. It's horrible for him, and he's lost the last 2 times in straight sets when he's played him. So, and one was obviously in the ATP Cup earlier this year.
If you just go over one tab, then
sure.
What we're going to do now, we're going to wrap this up because we're going to be doing the women's very soon. Let's just clarify our picks for all of these ones, and then we're going to talk about what we're going to be doing tonight. So you can go first. So the Monfis Berrettini.
Berrettini in 4.
Yep, exactly the same for me. Berrettini in 4. The second one.
Nadal in 4.
Nadal in 3.
Sinner in 5.
Sinner in 4.
And Medvedev in 4. Go on, Felix.
Medvedev in 3. So we've actually got the exact same winners of each, different sets.
Weird.
Means it's never going to happen. But that is our predictions for the quarterfinals on the men's. Make sure, put your predictions in the live chat. We'll read some out. We've got, where is it here? Just lost it. Can you see one? Oh, there we go. By Air saying Berrettini, Nadal, Tsitsipas, Medvedev. Going for the Tsitsipas, a bit different to us. We've got Sam going, Monfils beats Berrettini. Shout out to Vance for the super chat. Appreciate that.
Vance.
Saying Rafa Med are smelling blood, but Chapo is getting the album ready.
Wow.
Maybe if he beats Nadal, he could
Diss track.
He could put up some lyrics about how he beat Nadal at the Australian Open in there, but we'll have to wait and see for that. That's our predictions anyway. How I want to end it is we are going to be covering Shapovalov Nadal later on. Here's a nice little graphic between the two. Their best results of the Australian Open. Of course, Rafa's won it before. Chapo, third round. 13 years between them. 35 Rafa, 22 feed. Chapo, can't get the names mixed up. And yeah, just a few others. 89 titles there for Rafa. Only one for Shapovalov. Head-to-head, he leads 3-1. And ranking, Rafa's 5th, Chapo 14th. And just quickly, looking at Rafael Nadal against the draw, seeing as Vance is saying it's looking easy for him and they're smelling blood, Rafa has got a favourable record against all of them. So him versus the rest of the field, 32 wins, 6 losses. Never lost to Berrettini. Beaten Monfis 14 times, lost twice. Beaten Shapovalov 3 times, lost once. Never lost to Sinner, beat him 3 times. Only lost to Tsitsipas twice, beat him 7 times. And never lost to Felix. Played 1-1.
I think,
looks good, doesn't it, on paper?
It does look very good on paper. We know that that's based upon an illustrious career, and now he's at the sort of the back end of it. So it'd be more interesting to look at the last year or so rather than looking at over a whole course of a career. I think it's quite interesting to see Chapo as well. He is obviously, if he was to beat Rafael Nadal, let's say.
Wait, is Medvedev down 1, mate? I think you've...
Apologies. There you go,
yeah.
3-1.
And Medvedev, 3-1.
Sorry, I had to zoom in. Didn't want to include all the trending things down the side. Yeah, Chapo, though, because I was looking on his head-to-head with some people as well. Him, if he manages to go through against Rafa, let's just say he goes through and then he faces Berrettini. He's got a 2-0 record against Berrettini. So that's favourable for him if Berrettini was to go through. And against Monfis, he's 1-1. So either of those, he'd probably fancy his chances against if he does. And, well, if you beat Rafael Nadal, you'll probably fancy yourself getting to a final anyway, in my opinion.
But yeah, you can dream on, Ben. Not happening, unfortunately. Chapo's going out. Hopefully you can join us, guys, for the... I don't want to say time. I'm going to just say in UK perspective, for the middle of the night match, 3 a.m., yes. 4 a.m., whatever it's going to be. Make sure to join us. Set your alarms. It's going to be a good one. Rafa's going to get the job done. You heard it here first. And yeah, cheers, guys, for watching. We'll end here with Jamie's super chat saying, if Chapo is any bit erratic, Rafa will steamroller. Vamos. Let's go. Come on, Rafa. Let's get the job done. I'm wearing my T-shirt and the cap tonight. Let's go. And hopefully we'll see you guys in about 10 minutes for the women's quarterfinal predictions. Just like this one. Don't go anywhere.
Cheers, guys.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.